What is going on, guys? SkiveWalker here. Now, before the video starts, guys, go check out A&B Masonry. They are your first and second options for any of your masonry needs, guys. They are the best. They truly are personable. They really are the best. You will not regret any kind of decision that you decide to go with them. They will make everything that you exactly want 100% perfect. You'll always want to go with them. Make sure you give Tyler Alto a call. Guys, the Indianapolis Colts may have landed a perfect draft. I wouldn't say perfect. Let's not go that far. But you know what? I very much enjoy this draft. That is what the video is going to be about today, as I'm sure you can tell by the title. We're going to break down round by round, pick by pick. We're going to get everything going. I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think the Colts could have done better, what they could have done worse, how much I like to pick, and my overall grades on it. Let's jump right into it. First round. I think everybody knows my feelings on this pick already. I am giving them an A+, 100%. For taking guard Quentin Nelson out of Notre Dame. Guys, he could very well be the best overall player in the draft. He brings a meanness and a toughness to the offensive line that we have not had in a very long time. He's a great pass and run blocker. The Colts last year only averaged 3.7 yards per carry. That ranked 28th in the NFL. 28th out of 32 teams. We desperately needed offensive line help. Absolutely needed it. We need linebacker help as well. More so on the interior linebacker position. But more importantly, we needed an offensive line. Here's why I very much like this entire draft class, basically summed up in one. Just about every person that we picked offensively knows their role already. That role is keeping number 12 upright, keeping Andrew Luck healthy, because without him, the Colts aren't going anywhere. Guys, he's going to come back this year. And when he comes back, the way that this draft class just panned out is going to be phenomenal. This is I'm like I said the last time we talked about the Colts, my whole opinion on this is a complete 180. I'm very excited for this season. Okay? So Quentin Nelson, A+ pick. We dropped back. We were at the 3 pick. We traded back to 6 and still probably got the best player in the draft. And Ballard we trust, folks. And Ballard we trust 100%. Fantastic pick. I'm so glad we didn't trade out of it. We needed this guy. Andrew Luck needed this guy. The whole name of the game is keeping Andrew Luck healthy. Now going on to the second round. Here's where I kind of scratched my head a little bit. I was a little disappointed, not going to lie. Now that I've had a little bit of time to delve a little bit more into these guys, learn more about why Chris Ballard talked to about them or drafted them, he actually let some of the media members into the film room, which doesn't happen very often. He broke down why he picked the players where. Getting ready to read that, or reading that article, was pretty awesome, not going to lie. So our very first pick in the second round was linebacker Darius Leonard. I give them a B for this pick. Because you could have had a Harold Landry, you could have had Roquan Smith here. Was it really worth passing on a player like Roquan Smith? I mean, the guy is really good. You know what, though, guys? He fits the new scheme. Like I said, the Colts were a 3-4 with Chuck Pagano. We're switching to a 4-3 with Frank Reich. Something that I think is going to benefit this defense as a whole. Darius Leonard is able to be a pass rusher when needed to. He's very fast. He has a lot of room to grow. But he's also, not only is he a good pass rusher, he's also fast enough to drop back in coverage and cover those tight ends like a Rob Gronkowski, like a Jimmy Graham. He's able to guard those kind of guys, but still has that speed to also be able to be a pass rush. He is a very good pick. Maybe a little bit risky pass on such a good player, but he has very high upside. Could be one of the best linebackers in the league if he lives up to his potential. His potential is high enough, but the question is, will he ever get there? But that's the question with all these draft picks, isn't it? Our second pick in the second round, guard Braden Smith. I like this pick for a lot of reasons. He can play right guard, and he can play right tackle as well. He's going to compete for both of those positions. Joel Haig played a good right tackle last year. Denzel Good's not too bad of a right tackle as well. We also have Matt Slauson coming in. He's going to be competing with Matt Slauson, as Quentin Nelson already basically has a left guard position locked up, just because he's by far and away probably the best lineman we already have on the team, and he hasn't even played a snap yet. Braden Smith very well could be right up there with the starters. He's going to be in the mix. He's a very good lineman. He does have a little bit of a hand problem. What I mean by that is his hands are a little slow. He keeps his arms extended out a little bit. Needs to work on that technique. When he's on the right tackle side with his arms extended out, he sometimes gets beat on that right side. Got to tuck those arms in, kid. Get right up underneath them shoulder pads. Give a good block there for Mr. Andrew Luck. But I like Braden Smith here. Very well could be a starter for the next 10 years. Just has a little bit of stuff to work on. Third pick in the second round, defensive end, Kamoko Toure. Love this guy. Love this guy. Big-time pass rusher his freshman season. His stats fell off the rest of the year. Now you might be thinking, well, how do you love the guy if his stats fell off after his freshman year? Here's why. After his freshman year, Rutgers switched to a 3-4 defense, meaning he was now standing up. You don't get as much speed, lift, push, and also when you're a 3-4, as you're a 3-4 linebacker, you're also asked to go more into coverage than you are at pass rushing. Sure, you still need to go get the quarterback. It's a little bit different lining up with your hands on the ground in a 3 technique, but also as a 3-4 linebacker, you must also be able to guard the pass, and that's what he was asked to do a lot. That's why his sack numbers went down from his freshman year on. But guys, he is a very good pass rusher, something we need. He's going to be very good in this rotation with John Simon and with Jabal Sheard. Very good pick, very good value pick. He's going, like I said, he's going back to his 4-3, where his primary job is getting the quarterback. He could be a big steal. Our last pick, with the very last pick in the second round, we traded with the Cleveland Browns and took defensive lineman Tyquan Lewis from Ohio State. Guys, if you know me, I'm a Buckeye homer. I watched every Buckeye game. It's like a big festival at the house, right? I love Tyquan Lewis. He's a flexible guy, high motor guy. Like I said, I loved him at Ohio State. He can play defensive tackle and defensive end. He played both inside and out for Ohio State. He loves hitting quarterbacks. That's what he loves to do. He loves to blitz, loves to just get his hands on them, and he doesn't give up on the play. So even if it's a run play, if he gets beat, you still see him going right after the guy who has the ball. Very good pick here at the end of the second round. I'm so very excited to have Tyquan Lewis go in, plug and play with this defensive line. Guys, with the defensive lineman picks that we picked up in the second round, it's going to be fun. We're not going to be the worst pass rushing team in the league. We're not going to be the best, but we're definitely not going to be the worst. We have the potential to go up to be a top 10 pass rushing team this year, and definitely a run-stopping line as well. Guys, in the third round, we didn't have a pick. We traded up with the Cleveland Browns, got rid of our third-round pick, but that's all right. I like the Tyquan Lewis pick over a third-round pick any day of the week. Fourth round, we took running back Nyheim Hines. Now, it's a depth position here as Marlon Mack is the starter right now with Frank Gore moving on, going to Miami. Nyheim Hines is comparable to Tarek Cohen, Christian McCaffrey, even Kamara over in New Orleans. He's fast. He ran for over 1,000 yards last year. As a junior, he had 12 touchdowns last year as a junior. Good depth pick. Could be a very high-value pick. He's a pretty good running back. Not the running back I wanted. As everybody know, I wanted Royce Freeman from Oregon, but that's okay. You got another pretty solid running back here, Nyheim Hines. Him and Marlon Mack, two speedsters with Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith opening up some holes for him. Could have a big year in the running game. Going back to it, fourth round, I give it a B-. Fifth round, I'm going to give it a C+. We could have probably addressed the wide receiver need, as we only have 2 receivers coming back this year. Luckily, one of them is T.Y. Hilton, the ghost number 13, probably the most underrated receiver in the National Football League. But here in the fifth round, our first pick, we took wide receiver Darius Fountain. He's more of a depth pick, guys. He's raw. He's not very fast. He's going to be used in the slot game because he's big, he's tall, and he can go get the ball. He can take those hits from the linebackers. He's really just going to be a slot guy. Not going to burn any corners. Probably not going to see a lot of touchdowns from him. So if you're looking at a receiver in fantasy, I would not look for him unless they start using him in some red zone packages. I would stay away from Darius Fountain. But as a teammate, he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, which you always love to see. But then again, doesn't every wide receiver come in with a chip on their shoulder, as they really kind of are the diva position. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't really have high hopes for the guy, but he is a good depth receiver as long as he can make some catches, be somewhat of a good player in the slot game. I'm not going to complain too much about the pick. We also took another running back, Jordan Wilkins. He's a power back, has good vision, can find some holes in the zone running game. He only had 32 catches out of the backfield in his 3 seasons in college. To be able to really get on the field, you're going to be able to show that you can catch some more balls out of the outfield or out of the backfield, especially in a Frank Reich system coming from Philly. You know that they like to use Darren Sproles like that, kind of where I see Nyheim Hines going. Also Marlon Mack in that same kind of thing. So Jordan Wilkins probably going to be used more for the goal line, more of like a fullback type of running back. But let's see. Hey, good depth guy, good depth position. Can replace the Franco running back that we had last year. 6th round, I'm going to give it a B. Wide receiver Deion Kane was the choice. He fell due to off-the-field issues. He was suspended for the college football playoff due to a failed drug test. He was projected a 2nd or 3rd round pick. He ran a 4.3 40. My apologies for that. He may have a case of the dropsies, though. That's going to be a big problem. But if Deion Kane can hold on to the football, he can be a very good pickup here in the 6th round. Like I said, he was projected to be 2nd or 3rd round, and he fell all the way to the 6th round. He himself was pretty shocked about it. Looking like he could be a very good value pick as long as he can make sure he holds on to the football, keeps his head on straight. He said he made some stupid mistakes in college, and he learned from it. Let's see if he really did that. I'm willing to give the guy a second chance, just as anybody else deserves to have a second chance. Why not this guy? I'm going to trust Mr. Ballard in this pick and hope Deion Kane can become a good number 2 punch next to T.Y. Hilton. 7th round, I'm going to give it a C, but in all reality, most 7th round picks are really for depth, special teams, and probably not going to make the team, to possibly cuts. So I didn't really let the 7th round affect my overall grade of the draft. But in the 7th round, we took linebacker Matthew Adams. He's an inside linebacker. He had 88 tackles his senior year. More of, like I said, he's going to be more of a depth guy, probably competing for the linebacker job, probably going to be a special teams guy. The last pick in the draft that we had, we took linebacker Zaire Franklin. Guys, he's more of a special teams guy. He probably won't even make the team. He doesn't get the quarterback a lot. He is an inside linebacker. But if he doesn't make a splash on the special teams, he's probably going to be cut. He's probably not going to make the team, which kind of stinks. I hope the best for all these guys. I mean, because you got to think when you're talking about it, they're not just. It's not like you're playing Madden and you're just cutting a digital guy. These are real life people. They're really fighting for their dreams of playing the National Football League and making some money for their family. So I hope the best for all the guys and every guy that gets drafted. But at the end of the day, you got to take the best of the best. The whole name of the game is to win the Super Bowl. So I hope that they make it. I hope that they play well. But just don't have high hopes for Zaire Franklin. But if he does well, I'll be the first one to eat the crow. And I'll be hoping that this guy becomes a big-time linebacker the rest of the way. But his ceiling is not very high, and his floor is kind of what it is. So let's see what happens. But my overall grade for this draft, I'm going to give it a B+, mainly for fixing up the offensive and defensive lines. Offensive line getting in an elite talent, possibly the best player in this draft, and possibly the best lineman we've seen coming out of a draft in a very long time. Picking up Quentin Nelson, I believe, was huge. Picking up that other lineman over here, Braden Smith, another big, tough guy. Love anchoring the line. Defense wins championships, but defense can't win you the championship if you don't win in the trenches. And that's exactly what the Colts did, which is exactly why I love this draft. Going offensive line to keep Andrew Luck healthy, keep Andrew Luck upright. Defense to go make sure that other quarterback's dirty. Making sure Tom Brady can feel the pressure in his last year. I'm hoping we can just end it. I don't want Tom Brady to be seriously hurt by ending it, but I want him to get hit so hard and so many times by this Colts defensive line, he doesn't want to get back up, and he just retires because of it. Able to walk, able to be with his family the rest of his life. Don't want him hurt in any way. I just want him to feel the Colts defensive line and the pressure to make him not want to play next year and get pounded by this defensive line. And I think they have the potential to do that. So, guys, that's my review of the Colts draft this year. How did your favorite team do in the draft? Do you like their draft? Do you not like their draft? Let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. We already know how the Fett feels about the Ravens draft. Busted. But the Colts, I think, did a very good job. Guys, like I said, let me know what you guys did. What you guys think. I also think the Browns had a very good draft. Maybe I'll go into that more another time, but I think the Browns probably had an A to A- draft. I think they did a very good job. But we're going back to the Colts. Guys, if Andrew Luck comes back, anything is possible with Mr. Luck. With number 12, anything's possible with him. And guys, just one more last shout out before I get the heck out of here. This week, me and the Fett are facing each other in fantasy baseball. Fett, my man, you are going down. If anybody knows us, we are very competitive when it comes to fantasy baseball. He knows more about it than I do. However, we're both sitting at 4-0, and we're facing each other. So whoever wins this week goes on to stay undefeated, and the loser finally takes that first L, and then also the winner goes on to stay in first place and has a head start in winning the division, although we are only 5 games in. But here we go. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, for supporting the podcast. I know we have a lot of naysayers. We have a lot of doubters. Rise up against it. The Fett and SkiveWalker show is going to take off. As soon as we can get this website up and running, we can get on iTunes. I know we wanted the mock draft to be the first one, and it will be the first one. I promise you that will be the first one that we put up on iTunes. Guys, we just need to give me a little bit more time, as this week is chaotic with the wedding coming up this Friday. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. Don't know if it's going to come up Tuesday or Wednesday. But guys, just know I haven't forgot about you. Haven't forgot about the website. Haven't forgot about my promise about the mock draft video going on iTunes. That is still going to be the very first one. And I'll upload every one after that up on YouTube where you're listening in here. And then also on iTunes as well. Guys, that's all I got for you. SkiveWalker signing off.